Okay, we ended last with the ileum, which is the last part of your small intestine. So I'm shading that in right here. And then it opens right here into your large intestine. But there's something called the sphincter, which keeps the food moving into the large intestine instead of backflowing over here. So this right here is called the ileum. So once the food is squirted from the ileum, the sphincter closes and the food will begin its final journey through the large intestine, also known as the colon. So this entire region right here is called the colon. Side-to-side movement right here. And ends in the rectum, and this final region down here is the anus, which is another sphincter. Okay, so there's 3 directions that the large intestine travels. You have it first going up, so this is called the ascending colon because ascend means to go up. Here you have your transverse colon, and then it goes down, so this one's side to side. Going down is your descending colon. This region right here that is somewhat horizontal is called your sigmoid colon. Then you have feces storage, which has nerves attached to it that send full signals to your brain so you know when to use the restroom. And this is a sphincter called the anus. Right here we have a small organ where sometimes you get an infection. Sometimes the food goes into the ascending colon, but instead of going up with peristalsis, it descends into what we call the appendix. And it can cause it to get puffy and infected, and in that case, it has to be removed. The appendix does have a slight role in the immune system, but mostly we consider it to be vestigial, which means at some point in evolution we needed it, but we do not need it anymore. Okay, so what I'd like to do right now is just go through the other enzymes that we missed. So let's begin after the stomach. In the duodenum, we get a secretion from the gallbladder. The gallbladder is a storage garage for this large organ called the liver. The liver is going to be something that's going to make bile. Bile is a digestive enzyme, and all it does is it makes big fat into little fat. So you have big fat droplets, just like after eating something really fatty. It just takes big fat and it makes it into small fat. It doesn't actually break the bonds in the fatty acid chains or in the glycerol. It just makes it smaller to digest. Okay, so bile is made by the liver, started in the gallbladder, and squirted out into the duodenum. The pancreas makes a bunch of different enzymes, but one that I want to highlight is something called a bicarbonate ion. Sounds hard, but all it is baking soda. And what it does is it neutralizes acidic chyme. So when the chyme is going down your intestines, it doesn't burn just like it would if it were to come up with heartburn. It's got like a pH of 2, and that burns. But when it goes through your intestines, it doesn't burn because the bicarbonate ions are going to neutralize it. So you don't have a constant stomach ache. Neutralizes chyme. And then one other one that we're going to add for the pancreas will be in the next video to come. It would be lipase, which actually breaks down the chemistry of the fat. So it takes the fat polymer and makes it to its monomers, which would be the head or the tail. And the last one, in the ileum, you have an enzyme called nuclease. When you eat all of that DNA from your food, you have to break it down into the ATCGs that made that food because you don't want cow DNA when you eat beef, you want your DNA. So this breaks down DNA into its component adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine, ATCG. All right, that is your digestive system in a nutshell with a focus on the enzymes.